Hey guys, and welcome to episode 12 of the FPL Pop In Pod, brought to you by the FPL Journal. There's been 3 game weeks in the past week, and we'll try our very best to guide you through how they went and how game week 16 is shaping up. When I say we, I of course mean me, Migatavius, and she, Nymphria. Hey Nym, have you recovered from a frantic week of FPL action, all the while suffering from man flu?
No, not really. And cheers, thanks very much for passing that over the airwaves.
Oh, it's not a problem. I love to share.
Not really fully recovered yet, I'm afraid. But, you know, I'm toughing it out.
Toughing it out. Mm-hmm. And have you recovered even more so from Saturday night's game? Wow. Arsenal versus Manchester United. Oh. You must have been bouncing off the ceiling.
Oh, amazing. I think it must have been a fantastic one for the neutrals, that one. Absolutely crazy.
I have to say that was an incredible game. It has to be the advert for the Premier League. Best game this season, at least. End to end. Well, I say end to end, but it was mainly Manchester United's end with a couple down Arsenal's end. It was a great game.
Yeah, well, I predicted 2-1 to Man United for this one, and it was very, very close until Lingard burst my bubble with sealing the loss of Arsenal's 12 matches won at the Emirates. So, cheers, Lingard, for that.
Yeah, well, no one likes Lingard.
And De Gea with a massive 14 saves. Oh. I know, don't even get me started on that one because I sold him for Courtois, but we'll get on to that later. But he was definitely Nym freedom, to put it that way. And Pogba seeing red.
Yeah, it was a definite red. It was a definite red. I'm going to call it right now as a red. He stamped all over him twice. He actually caught him with the left foot on the other leg as well. But, you know, and they haven't appealed it, so they know that it was red.
Yeah, wow, it was.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because he was a player I was considering bringing in. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of people that brought him in, and then probably the same amount of people that then shipped him straight back out again. I went for 2-1 Arsenal. Quite frankly, that should have been the correct result. Not the scoreline, because quite frankly, that could have been like 12-3. But, you know, one of the main talking bits was Wenger's mind games. Lacazette, no, he's not going to play. He's got a groin injury. No, he's not going to play. Who's there in the starting lineup? Lacazette.
Yeah, completely trolled us all. Don't know how many draft teams I stuck him last on my bench. Cheers, thanks. Like, Arsenal, if you're going to do that, at least tell your fans so we know. He ended up last on my bench in quite a few draft teams. But very glad he did play, obviously.
Yeah, because it's not like he scored or anything.
No, of course not. No. But yeah, he definitely took a play from the Jose Mourinho playbook there, I think.
I think you were lucky that was fun the whole time.
All the years that he's been done over by Jose, he just decided to try one back.
Talk about being done over by Jose. Leads us on to our supported act.
Yeah. Which
was the team that was done over by him in the championship race last season. That's my segue. Spurs, away at Watford. We both actually, on a rare case, went for the same prediction.
We did.
Desmond's all around, 2-2.
Yeah.
Which, you know, we got the right result.
Yeah.
We predicted a draw, and there was a draw, but a bit less goals, only the one.
We're always too flattering with the goals.
We are. It's because we want games like the Arsenal one.
Yes, true.
And they give us games like the Spurs ones.
No comment.
Another blank from Kane. Sunshine on a rainy day, this time getting the goal.
Yep.
With an Eriksen assist popping up there somewhere out of the ether of club football. Eriksen with an assist. But I didn't actually have anyone in this game, so it was kind of just a little bit less than interesting.
Well, I had Richarlison and Kane. I know we're going to talk a bit later about Kane. Richarlison looking good, but I would like to start seeing some more returns from him from all his efforts and shots and stuff on targets.
He is like an Arsenal game in one person.
Yeah.
He has a lot of clear-cut shots.
But this was a very split match. This was a very split match. They both had 2 shots on target each. Watford just nabbed the possession with 50.5% over Spurs. And obviously Sanchez got sent off.
I had him a couple of draft teams.
So,
not happy.
No. Watford, like Arsenal, just couldn't utilise the extra man and obviously couldn't quite grab the win from the draws defeat. So, which I think is always quite surprising when a team goes a man down, because you kind of think, oh, this is it now. They're bound to win.
Because the 10 players tend to rally, and it's almost as if there's like 12 players when there's like one less.
Yeah.
Don't understand.
So, what isn't surprising, though...
Well, segue alert.
...is a surprise fixture. I went with Huddersfield Everton, and I said 2-1 to Everton. It's close again. It was 2-0.
Huddersfield not turning up for the
Always
prediction.
these near misses, but it did also say a cheeky Rooney goal with the Siggers assist. And of course, what I meant was
it was a typo, wasn't it?
A cheeky Siggers goal and a Rooney assist.
Oh, it's a damn typo.
Yeah, just them, little
Who
details.
put that on Twitter? Oh.
Everton possibly looking to have turned a corner under Big Sam, looking a bit more impressive. But the stats in that fixture did not flatter Everton. They were behind Huddersfield on possession, touches, passes, but obviously they were more clinical when it mattered.
Yeah, just like Leicester.
What?
Who are my surprise picture?
Oh, so I know.
Who are my surprise fixture? Can't even say fixture. Who are my surprise fixture? My surprise game. Which was my surprise game, which was Leicester versus Burnley. I went with 1-1, which wasn't right. It was Leicester 1, Burnley 0, which was okay with me because Mahrez got an assist for a Gray goal. That one to watch that we had a few weeks ago, Gray. Finally doing something. But it was obviously because Lowton wasn't there. Obviously. As to why Burnley didn't keep a clean sheet. Which I don't know what he's still doing. I think he's still on orange. We may come back to him later on. Yeah, so a little bit there with our predictions. We're counting in correct results now because it looks a little bit better.
Shh, don't tell him.
What does look better is the range of points, because obviously there was 3 game weeks. So,
maybe on your range. Yeah, he only says that because he's had a fantastic game week and he wants to rub it in everyone's face.
1 out of 3, but it's the most recent one. There was quite the range on my points. In fact, in these 3 game weeks, I had both my worst and my best weeks of the season so far. Game week 13, I got 29, 20, not even 30 points. 14, I got 46, so I think it was 1 below the average, so pretty much. And then game week 15, I got 81, which was awesome, thanks to Captain Hazard and people like Mahrez and stuff turning up, which was great because it sort of took me from 800,000, went all the way down to 1.2 mil, and now back up to 500,000 something. So
pretty good.
Bad start, good finish. That's how I usually am.
Wow, that's pretty much the opposite way around for me. I got 47 in game week 13, so the best out of the 3 game weeks. I was a green arrow and I was around 1.3 mil. And then in game week 14, just below the average, because the average was 47, I got 46.
Oh, snap.
It's just, ugh. And then I slipped a little bit, but I was still in the 1.3. And then this game we had an absolute nightmare. Took David De Gea out for Courtois, took a -4, and tanked. Basically, just had a nightmare. Only got 30, so of course with the 4, only 26. And that's a massive red, and now I'm all the way down to 1.8. So, not good. And I guess it's that kind of time where we start to think about how I can get Hazard in my team, because clearly I think looking at all the people that did well were just people who had Hazard. And
pretty much, if you captained him, you're on for. And
I know it is at the moment a little bit of the difference of just captaining the right person, and at the moment my heart is kind of been ruling my head every game week. I have it as somebody who my head thinks is the right person to go with. And it was Salah again this week, and then last minute I switched to Kane, and so it keeps getting put back onto Kane with this kind of hope that he'll get something for me. So We'll see how that goes for the next game week.
So I'm presuming that he's not going to be your triple header star man.
No.
Over the course of these 3 weeks.
That would be Salah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I suppose so, yeah.
25 points over 3 game weeks. So, really should be him. I should be captaining.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, my star man can't really look past Mo Salah. What about yourself?
Well, my star man should really be Hazard, obviously, because he helped me bump up this last one. But my star man over the course of the 3 weeks is actually Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Okay.
Because I didn't have Hazard in game week 13. So I didn't get his 8 points for that. But Dom got me 19 points over these 3 weeks. Incredible stats for a cheapy little man, which made me a bit happier because I chose him over Nias in my wild card, which I was kind of regretting when Nias was scoring against Palace. But since Zoe's got suspended and Calvin's had a good couple of game weeks, I'm feeling a little bit better about that now.
It's whether he'll keep his spot, though, I guess, isn't it? That's the kind of...
Yeah, hopefully because he's young and English, Big Sam will like him in a professional sort of way. He's my star man, my 5 mil star man. 5.1 now, I think he's gone up now. Incredible. But Hazard does make it as my fire player. Because obviously he's in form.
Yep.
He got an assist. Well, he would have had an assist for the own goal in tonight's Champs game. He's at home to West Ham. To be fair to them, they did look better against Man City.
Yeah, they did look
They did look threatening.
We did think that scoreline would be ridiculous. And
Yeah,
it
I
didn't
think
end up being ridiculous. So.
Most people thought it would be an Ashes score. But I still think that Chelsea will turn them over.
Yeah, well, my fire. I put down that I possibly go for Morata, just like you've gone for Hazard, because of that reason, really. So he got me 8 points at Newcastle with a goal, and I don't have Hazard. So at the moment, otherwise, I would possibly look at captaining him, but there is some question mark over whether he's going to get arrested soon. And the same for Morata, because we've got really difficult run. Well, not a difficult run of games for Chelsea, but I mean like a difficult run, you know, with just games all packed together at the moment. And Conte is very, very cautious of his team. Like there are some managers that don't really care; they'll just like flog their players to the ground, you know.
Not naming any names.
No. But no, they will, you know, just this is the team, and if they want to do well, they will play. But Conte, a bit like Pep, has a really good squad, and where we've seen people like Jose and Pep utilise their teams and go, you know, switch it up a bit. We haven't really seen that from Conte until now, and I think that's something he's really bringing into his managerial style, which is to start thinking about player management and what that means. So, you know, if I do get Hazard in, I'm not saying I think either him or Morata will be rested at West Ham. I'm just saying it's West Ham, and there will be some managers that will look at that as a prime opportunity to...
You mean like Pep when he doesn't start Jesus?
Yeah, a bit like that. But it's like lightning, trying to choose which of these, you know...
Segway game is hot tonight.
These managers are going to rotate. So, on that note, who is your lightning pick for the week?
My lightning pick for the past 3 game weeks is De Gea. Mainly because of the Arsenal game. And... I only really had him in because I didn't really have a backup to him, because I got Elliot, who has seemingly been dropped for some reason.
Yeah, that's really annoying.
So he kind of had to play, which was thankful, because, you know, it's not often that a keeper gets 8 points without keeping a clean sheet. So thanks to Elliot for not playing, and thanks to Hare for doing what the hell he done.
My lightning pick was Moreno.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Liverpool defender, wow.
Yeah, because he got me 2 points in the first game week, so game week 13, but I had him on my bench, and then boom, lightning.
Boom.
game week 14 with 7 points. Popped him in, I had him in my starting 11. He was popped right in there. Flash of light like that got me 7 points. And then nowhere to be seen again in game week 15. Not even on the bench. Just nowhere. So exactly like lightning, basically.
He
was just building up. Game week 13, little rumble. Then
17 points.
yeah, well, 17 points. I'd love that.
Points.
7 points. And then nothing. Nowhere to be seen. Not even on the bench. I don't think you get a better lightning pick than that. Really.
That's quintessential lightning pick.
That is right there.
Alberto Moreno. Well, with him not being there last game week, he could have been your Duff Puff.
He could.
After that lightning strike, just puffs out.
Yeah.
So
he wasn't.
Was he? No, he wasn't. He wasn't. Oh, who was it then?
It's hard to choose this one, but I'm between Kane or Courtois.
Two big names. Well,
yeah. I did sell David De Gea, as I mentioned earlier, and yes, I regret it, but I was guilty of fixture watching. I seen that David De Gea had Arsenal and Man City. In particular, the Man City one really bothered me. And I seen, obviously, that Chelsea had 2 better fixtures, and I just kind of thought, what's wrong with doing a bit of a Chelsea double up here in defence? Yeah, it didn't quite work out for me, but I can't really duff him out just yet, because I've only had him 1 week. It was for 2 game weeks and possibly further ahead because he does have good fixtures, so I can't completely duff him out yet. So I think I have to make it Kane. It's just a constant letdown, and quite frankly, I'm just going to say, I'm just going to go straight into it. I know you haven't done yours yet, but...
It's fine.
But,
It deserves to wait anyway.
It's been a sin as well. Territory as well. I can't be doing with it. He can just duff off if he doesn't do it against Stoke.
Harry, you can duff off, alright?
You can just duff off if he doesn't do it against Stoke, because Harold, I'm sorry, I am...
If you're listening...
Really, I know you won't be, but if you are,
share it around.
I've been with you, brother, in my heart, I've had you there for personal reasons, and most weeks, the last few weeks, I've been captaining you, and I've been hoping, and you've just been constantly letting me down, and I just, I'm an Arsenal fan, and I'm putting my faith in Spurs and in a Spurs player.
Dirty on a weekly basis.
I know, exactly. I just need him to do something against Stoke. And I know it makes my life more difficult because I'd kind of already resigned myself to selling him after Stoke. But I really want him to do well at Stoke. And if I do sell him, though, I'm going to have to think about getting him back for the double game week. But
yes, that double game week in game week 22.
Yes, 22.
Just turn into the new year, I believe.
Yeah, but we'll chat a bit more about that in the pop pick in just a sec. If you just want to tell us who it is that you've got your duffs and
get my duff puff out of the way. It's Sané. Only got me 3 points over 3 game weeks.
Same.
He's my Man City cover. And
C word, cover.
Yeah, cover. He's my Man City man. City. Massive disappointment. 3 points, especially when it's games against Huddersfield, Southampton and West Ham.
I feel your pain, dude.
And he didn't even play against Southampton.
No.
So he got 3 points out of 2 games, which looks a little bit better, but not a whole lot better.
No, and I think actually he might be the one that might be making way for Hazard for myself. Leaves me without that City nasty C word.
That City C word.
That City C word. But we'll just bench him there. And was there anyone in your bin of sin, or was he both your Duff Puff and your bin of sin?
He's in there. He's not alone. but he is the main protagonist
Yeah.
of that bin. There are a couple of people in there who aren't. It's not really their fault. Lowton, because he's injured, I'm not sure when he's going to be back. And Elliot, who's been dropped. So they're kind of just, they're leaving me without options. So I just may need to get someone in who's actually playing to give me options. But yeah, Sané's definitely the main one in there who can duff off with Hazard, with Kane, not with Hazard. Love Hazard.
Well, so if you're getting rid of him, then, you know, let me
15
know and I'll
points,
definitely
is that it?
get him in.
Is that it? 15 points? You loser.
So anyway, let's smoothie on back to our topic of the week, seeing as we touched upon it.
This week's topic was, is Kane worth having?
Okay.
Now, as a non-Kane owner, I'm not too sure. I do have some things, but as a Kane owner, who's not too happy with him at the moment, would you like to relay your unbiased opinion?
Seeing as you don't have him, and you seemingly doing a lot better than I over the last kind of recent weeks, it does make it really hard sat here, like trying to fight his case. You know, as we just said a little bit ago, he does have a double game week coming up. Does that mean we should hold on to him for that double game week? It's still a long way off yet, even though they look really, really good. So I think it's the kind of thing where if you're thinking of selling him, at least try and have a really good plan to try and get him back in if he's definitely what you want for that double game week. He does have some quite good stats. He is the second highest forward in the game, only 1 point behind Morata, so he's the second highest points wise at the moment. He has got 2 goals in his last 4 matches, so his stats aren't terrible. I think it's possibly just feels terrible because we expect so much from him. You've also got some points being a non-Kane owner.
Well, I kind of took a more statistical look at him because obviously I haven't got an emotional link to him. But he has scored 10 goals and got 1 assist so far this season. He has blanked in 8 of the 15 game weeks, but then in 4 of the game weeks he did score a brace each time. So he has kind of made up for his blank weeks, I suppose.
And I do think a lot of us Kane owners are holding on to him for those weeks when we get a brace.
Oh, yeah.
You know, rather than him being that consistent player that kind of...
Oh, yeah, he's definitely one of those players that has the capability of scoring a hat-trick every game. It's just whether or not he puts them away.
Yeah.
Which is the difference between a good week and a bad week.
Tell me about it.
Obviously, his price tag does hinder him in when you look at stats like points per £1 million.
Yeah.
Because obviously someone like Morata's going to have more because they're cheaper. Although his price tag does hinder him in that way, he is second best in actual points per game week behind that man again, Morata. But there has been a bit of talk around him being a sort of a differential now.
Yeah.
Sort of thinking more sort of captain pick wise, because he is actually the 3rd most popular player in the game behind Salah, who's surpassed the 50% mark, and De Gea, who's in just over 40%. 37.5% actually own Kane. So he is still quite popular. But it's just whether or not people are now just seeing him as a squad player rather than someone they can rely on week to week with the captain's armband. Maybe moving that to more like Salah sort of player who seems to just be on fire. Is he worth having?
I think it depends on a couple of factors. For me, I always try and go by form and value. And at the moment, he isn't reaching form and value. And I do know that had I not have gone through some of the personal stuff I'd gone through this year and had that slight personal attachment to him, that it's very likely he still would not be in my team now. There's just he would have gone, because for his price I can already be looking at upgrading, to promoting to, you know, someone a lot more expensive. Even Richarlison, if I wanted to, my 3rd striker, for instance, that money goes so far. Even if I only wanted to go as close as to, let's not say Aguero, because obviously that's a whole other debate right there with Man City players. But even if I wanted to go to the next bracket down in the 10 mil somewhere, that's still 2 mil plus that I can be using elsewhere. And I know I've mentioned it before, with Hazard last year, there's all this sentimental value to be stuck on a player that isn't performing for their price tag. I got off, it did fantastic for me. I know I would have done the same if I didn't have that kind of personal attachment so far with Kane. So I guess it really just depends on what you want for your money. At the moment, it looks as if the value is more in the midfield. That could easily switch if Kane, has a good rest, or because there is a bit of a kind of thing going around that maybe he's got a bit of an injury that he's carrying, and he's kind of, he's just kind of dealing through that. And we all know he's never very good when he's not 100% anyway. So you switch that around, he gets 100%. He gets back to the sort of Kane that we've seen towards the end of last season. You can't go without him in your team. He's going to be a Hazard or a Salah.
But yeah, especially if he's going forward like he did towards the end of the season.
Exactly. So it depends. If you need that money elsewhere, then he's not worth keeping. He's not worth having in your team, because you're better off spreading that money elsewhere where you need it. If, however, you feel like the rest of your team is delivering well enough, and you're not like me, I guess, trying to frantically squeeze Hazard into your team or something like that, or Salah because you don't have him, or something like that. If you're in that sort of situation where you've got all of those key players and you're feeling pretty confident with your team, then stick with him, because he's there and he's getting points, and when he scores his brace, you're going to be quids in. If you don't need the money elsewhere, and I know that's kind of a silly thing to say in FPL, because you can always use the money elsewhere, but I mean, if you're particularly happy with your setup and you've got no worries going on, then stick with him, and just play it out another couple of weeks and see how it goes. If you can make it to that double game week, then you could be paid off for that. I don't know if I'm going to make it there, though. I really don't. I think I'll be looking at somebody like a Vardy, or maybe even Jesus. But
if he gets played.
Well, you say that.
I do, so I just did.
You do say that, but I've been looking at a few stats, and it doesn't seem to matter whether he starts the match or not, because he's still getting quite a lot of points, even in the few minutes that he comes onto the pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is.
So, I should have just told everybody that.
Yeah,
I just told everybody
write it
my
down.
differentials.
Write it down now. Jesus gets points. Starting or not. Yeah. I would agree with what you're saying. It all depends on what sort of manager you are. If you want to have really cheapy people who don't play, or a more balanced one, I kind of went with a more balanced sort of midfield, with just Morata up front, because there's value to be had out there. Mm-hmm. People like Calvert-Lewin, Abraham, Ramsey, cheapy at 7 mil. Mm-hmm. People at the back, you got that Everton fella Kenny. Mm-hmm. He's like 4.3 now, something like that. Obviously,
I know my man Guidance is a big fan of Kenny's, so I'll just give him a little shout out there. So. Yeah, and some cheapy keepers. So, there's value to be had there if you want to have a big money person. But personally, myself, I like to try and spread it out as much as I can. Oh, why?
Try and cover as many bases as I can.
Yeah, I've heard that one before.
Yeah, mainly in the mid. I don't like to go big up top. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of spread in the midriff area.
Got a lot of spread. There's a lot of pounds in that midfield, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah. So we didn't really answer that question. It was kind of just like, it depends on you.
Well, yeah, it does depend on you.
To me, no, I wouldn't.
No.
Unless he really starts kicking up to gear.
No, and at the moment, even though I do have him in, the likelihood is that unless he really does something to convince me against Stoke, then he will also not be in my team very long. So based on that, I would say no. Also,
unless you have him in a draft, then he's well worth. Then he's well worth
don't
having.
get rid of him in a draft team.
Don't
what
trade
are you
him
doing?
out.
No, do not do me and Lacazette and put him last on the bench.
Trade him out for Nias or something.
In fact, if you think about it, he is the perfect draft player.
Oh yeah.
Just sat there chucking away a few points here or there. Boom, loads of points.
Talking about boom, loads of points.
Yeah.
We'll just quickly touch on the FPL Journal League because we have him for a few weeks. And we have a new leader.
Ooh.
Who was actually a leader last game week, but in the middle of these 3 game weeks. Darren Rushton with team name Tyranno Suarez Rex.
Oh, wow.
Great
that's
name.
Awesome.
I love that name. He's got 887 points. He's only 6 clear of second, so it is closing at the top there. Luke, who was our leader, has now dropped down to 4th. So, there's a lot of
tussle going on.
There's a big fight at the top of the league that everyone wants to win, of which we are nowhere near winning.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about it.
I'm 49th and Nim is 101st.
I'm back outside the 100.
We were actually really close during the midweek. We were actually 2 points apart.
Yeah.
During the game weeks, but it's
and then you went and bought Hazard.
Hazard then sort of helped me out, pushed me away.
It's fine.
Hopefully you can do it again this week.
Yeah, but I'll probably have him this week. So
it'll be Nimp broken.
Nimp broken this week. That's it. Anyone who's got Hazard, watch out. Because if I buy him, he's done for.
Buy Kane instead.
Yeah, that's true.
Or you can buy Jesus, who's going to be, hopefully, in our heavyweight game for game week 16.
Yeah.
The big Manchester derby, Man United at home to Man City. I'm going with a 1-1 draw.
Okay. Well, this is not a fixture that favours City. Man U have won 20 times to City's 12 in this matchup, and there's been 8 draws between the pair. So it'd be quite rare to get a draw over there.
Been 9 draws, I'm telling you.
There's no Pogba. No Pogba. I reckon, a bit like you, I don't think it's going to be a massive scoring game. I'm going 2-1 City. Because everyone knows I'm a slight sneaky City fan. So, I'm going to back my second team there and go with City.
Yeah, I was thinking the same along the line that it's not going to be as high. It's definitely not going to be as open as the Arsenal game.
No.
Especially
I think Jose learned his lesson there. Got a bit too squeaky at times.
Yeah, although he had a masterpiece of a tactical decision, according to some people, I'm not too sure about. But with Pogba not there, he's probably going to be sort of replaced. I don't know if is Fellaini still around? Is he injured?
I think just about Sideshow Bob is there somewhere.
Yeah. Or even someone like Herrera or something like that. It's going to be more defensive anyway.
Yeah,
it's not going to be as free-flowing, which is why I went for the 1-1. Which would actually then end City's winning run.
Yeah, well, you're wrong. City are going to
win. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we will.
That's a big, bold prediction there for a City win.
At least we've both gone different, so we stand a chance of one of us getting somewhere near.
We've covered 2 of the results, a City win or a draw or fine, which means Man United are going to win. Our supporting act is the other derby, the Merseyside derby this time, Liverpool versus Everton. I've gone for a Liverpool win, 3-1. Are you crying snap?
Yeah, I am.
We've got another snap. Everton have looked better. Rooney, Siggers, Dominic looking dangerous, but that defence cannot stand the might of Liverpool, especially when they have this stat. I'm going to throw it at you right now. Everton haven't won at Liverpool since the 1999-2000 season.
Right.
Yeah, that's 18 years. That means they've not even won at Liverpool this century, because he was in...
Well, that pretty much just steals my stat, because that was pretty much what I was going to say. Pretty much going to say that. So, yeah. Well, there's nothing else to say. I've gone 3-1 as well, and he's nicked my very perfect stat. So.
Well, hopefully my Liverpool player Mane steals your Liverpool player Salah's points.
No. Not gonna happen. No.
Or Moreno, wherever he's turned up.
Yeah, that would be nice. I don't mind Moreno doing something.
He
That would be surprising. What's probably surprising is my surprise fixture.
I hope so, with that title.
Yeah. Huddersfield, Brighton. That's who
Ooh,
I'm
Battle
going
of the
for.
Blue and White Stripes.
I know. First time these two teams have met in the Premier League.
Yeah,
So
debut seasons.
it's gonna be interesting when Brighton doing better, sat in 12th in the league compared to Huddersfield 16th at the moment. But I still think this could be close. I think I'm gonna go Brighton 2-1.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Glenn
I just
Murray
think-
scoring.
I know it kind of goes with where they sat on the table, but not just that. Just from watching the games and things like that, I just think Brighton have the edge. And
Huddersfield have gone off the boil. They looked really good at the start of the season. Now they sort of
especially if he plays Murray Mint.
Murray Mint. He could
Murray Mint could be
very refreshing at the front. And
yeah.
trying to think of
Why
a
did
mint.
Palace get rid of him? Anyway, that's a whole other thing. Anyway, and your surprise fixture is
My surprise fixture is one that you'd think is probably going to be the most boring game of the week. Swansea versus West Brom. Everyone is looking at this, I'm telling you. Everyone's looking at it thinking that's going to be a 0-0.
No.
Well, I'm telling you it's not going to be a 0-0.
Wow.
It's going to be a 1-1, which is much more exciting.
Right.
But I don't really have much to say about it.
Okay then.
It's just going to be 1-0.
Yeah.
Tammy Abraham to score.
Wow.
Then maybe someone like Rondon or something, I'm not too sure.
Are you? Can I?
He can assist. I don't have IU, so he can assist.
Well, I don't have him either, but
you just want to sit there going, oh, are you Tammy?
Maybe Tammy can assist the IU. Loads of people have Tammy, that's the only thing. And
Yeah,
I did
like
have
me.
him. And I sold him for Wilson, so no. No.
No.
Just no.
No.
You've had too many points. Stop being greedy.
I've had
over
one
there.
good game week.
Yeah, well, that's one more good game week than me. Alright.
Didn't you get 75 points the other week?
Like ages ago now. And says you sat up in something thousands and I'm down in something millions, you know? So come on. Just allow me to at least get close so that we can make it a bit more interesting.
Alright. Well, what certainly is interesting
Uh-huh.
are the Twitter pages.
Okay.
Evidently not.
Oh, you know.
Oh, I tell you, it's a thrill a minute. So you go on that Twitter page, it's like bam, 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 jokes all the time. At the FPL Journal blog, she's off now. At McTavius, she's at Laugh a Minute at Nymphrea TV.
Hey, less of this you. What am I, a dog?
She.
You can give over on the she's.
And hers is.
I'm gonna refuse. I'm gonna walk out.
She's already gone.
I'm not getting paid enough.
I don't get paid to be called she. The website's fpljournal.com. I'm going to get through the links. You can check out Nim's YouTube channel.
Oh,
See, I didn't say she that time.
Nothing's happened on there a while.
You might need to brush up the cobwebs.
If you give me man flu, I just haven't been able to do anything without
coughing.
He's
There you
gonna
go.
be editing all the coughs out of this one, so
It's basically just going to be like.
yeah. So it's a bit easier to edit the coughs out of. A bit easier to edit the coughs out of a podcast than it is out of a video. So yeah. So apologies for that. I'll try and get some content on this soon.
But if you want to look at it, it's youtube.com/ put my teeth back in / FPL Nymphrea. Or go to her Twitter page. I said
Yes,
her again.
There's a link there.
There's a link on
my Twitter
Nymphorea's
That's
Twitter
awful,
page
isn't
at
it?
Nymphaea TV.
We're very professional here.
There is you can also catch the podcasts on there
Yes.
when I send her the files.
Yes,
Um,
he is terrible at doing that.
on the YouTube.
Being very honest. on
Yeah,
that.
yeah. You can get the podcast on the channel and on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and hopefully F1 survives the European Games this week. At least. And hopefully Nim does as well. And we'll see you back at the weekend. And don't forget to keep popping.
Hashtag keep popping.
Oh, we're keeping that in. I'm going to close it down now.
Tissue, please.